Clic. Bro, ça tue, ça blesse, ça flingue. Hey, bro.
Welcome back to the latest episode of the BME podcast, but this is a little different on this episode. It's the BME takes where we talk about movies, TV shows, and all of the sort of entertainment. And we rank movies, we discuss movies, we debate movies, actors, and all those good things. We are going to be talking about that on this episode. Best movies, best TV shows of 2025, and the movies, TV shows we're looking forward to in 2026. But before we even get into that, we are joined. Y'all know the face, y'all know the voice. Quame, aka Quamzilla, and Miles in the building. How y'all fellas doing?
Doing good.
Fantastic. Had a pretty good year, ready to go.
Yes, sir. All right, we started off with the top 5 movies that we have of 2025. How we gonna do it on this episode? You give one, I give one, Miles give one, and we go through our list right there. So we're gonna start off. Actually, Miles and Kwame, y'all start off. I'll end it off. So Miles, what is, and you don't have to rank them, but what's the first movie off your list as one of the best movies of 2025?
Let me see. I really did like Sinners. That came out earlier in the year, and seeing the job that Michael B. Jordan did and the whole crew of telling a great story. That was one of my favorite ones so far this year.
Kwame, you up next.
All right, I will go with American Primeval. It's a movie on Netflix that I didn't actually think I would like, but actually, as it went on, pretty good. It's a Western. I actually love Westerns a lot. It's a pretty good storyline. The ending kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, bro, this is a good movie. Okay, Netflix, I see you. But yeah, American Primeval, definitely, I would say one of the best. My number one. I think that's my number one pick, actually. True story.
Hey, I'll go with this one. We talked about it. Actually, funny enough, the last time we had an episode, we discussed this whole trilogy of movies and who was the best version of this character. But the final and the last reckoning of the Mission Impossible movie, that was one of my favorites of 2025. Now, for those that's new here, that's just watching, I'm more of a TV show guy, but that was one of my favorite movies I saw this year. We're going to pass it back to you, Kwame.
All right, so I'm gonna go. My next up probably would be. No, I got kids, so it's gonna be a kid movie. I thought it was really well done out though. I would say Bad Guys number 2. Now I love 1. I've watched 1 a lot without my kids. So so Bad Guys number 2, I felt like it was a pretty good sequel. It wasn't the best, but I still like the characters, had a good plot. So yeah, Bad Guys number 2 probably would be my second of the year so far. Yeah.
Would you say the second one was better than the first one?
Nah, definitely not. No, that's not a thing. But I would say though, that it was well thought out and it had a good plot. I would say it was pretty good though. I don't think like the first one is like iconic. Like you can like to know the characters for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the plot. I don't think I figured out the plot. My wife, of course, she figured out everything. So she knew from jump what was going to happen. But I was like, oh, that's crazy. But yeah, number 1 definitely was the top out of the 2. But number 2 was okay. It was good.
Yeah, Bad Guys too, man. That was really good. I like the plot in that actually as well too. It's like they turned good, but they couldn't find a job being good guys, so they kind of had to go back to being bad guys, even though they got framed. So I love the plot. I related to that because I feel I'm a good guy. I can't find a job, so I related to the movie. I related to the movie very well. Miles, what was your second best movie of the year?
Yo.
All right, so this one I just saw a few days ago. Just came out called "Is This Thing On?" It's this new comedy movie with Will Arnett. Really funny. It talks about a guy who's going through separation, divorce, and like you almost feel like you're not heard in situations with those marriages that kind of fall apart. So like he used the microphone as a way to vent, and it was cool seeing how that all worked out. And if you guys haven't seen it, you got to check it out. I thought it was really good. That's one of my favorite ones for the 2025 year.
I'm gonna throw another. I haven't seen that. I heard about it, but I'm gonna throw another one out there that kind of came out recently, not 2 days ago, I don't believe, but Zootopia 2. Staying in the same thing with Kwame. Zootopia 2. One of the best films for me of the year. As Kwame says, I have kids, younger kids, so I be watching a lot of these movies. Zootopia 2, loved it. I think arguably you could have a case that it was better than the first one. One of the few times that you could say that about a sequel. Kwame, pick it up. What's your third? If you had to throw a third movie out there, your third movie that you love the most this year.
Third movie, I probably would go with the new Superman movie. I thought that was a pretty good movie. I haven't been a fan of superhero movies for the past few movies. I'm like, I ain't rocking with it, but this one, I felt like it was well thought out. Pretty good action scenes, overall good acting. I'm like, okay, I can mess with this movie. Now going forward though, I don't know what's gonna happen, but this was pretty good.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later because there's some movies coming out in 2026 that I definitely want to hear y'all opinions on. Because again, if you're new here, we have been outspoken on the superhero movies, Marvel, DC, over the last couple years. It's been a lot of misses and not so many hits. So we definitely gonna talk about that later because there's some ones coming out in 2026. I'm gonna pass it back to you,
All
Miles.
Okay. So my third one, I'm gonna go with One Battle After Another. But that one was really well done. If you're not into long movies, it might not be for you. It was like 3.5 hours long. So, um, and for those movies, it's kind of tough to carry a movie for that long and keep your attention. But the action scenes and the music kind of adds to the suspense of some of the scenes. It's like a cat and mouse chase in this scenario. So it's not one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies. If anything, I think Sean Penn was the guy who kind of, I don't want to say carried the film, but like the way he plays this weird kind of deranged uh, officer trying to, locate this, you know, child of his that, all right, if you guys haven't seen it, that's what happens in the end. But it was a really good movie. Really good movie.
I want to ask you, right? Because she was in a couple movies, I believe, this year, and I saw she's in a couple coming up. What did you think about Tiana Taylor's performance as the actress?
I was thinking about it for when we were talking about later on, our favorite performances of the year. She's really good. She's really good at acting, in my opinion. For someone who started off as a singer and music and all that stuff, it's hard for you to do both. But I feel like this is kind of like her personality. She's good at being a little dramatic when it comes to certain roles, and especially in this one, I didn't think she really had to act as much. Like they probably told her like, "Oh, do this," and she's all right. That's kind of me already. So I think I like her as an actress. Looking forward to some of her roles in the future. I know there was a movie that came out a few years ago with her and her son. I don't know if you guys had seen that movie where um, she's trying to take him back, even though she had to give him up for adoption or she went to prison. It was a good movie if you look back on her filmography.
I know exactly what movie you're talking about. I'm trying to look it up for our viewers to see what was the name of that movie. Was it Straw or 1001? 1001.
Yeah.
1001. Yup. That was one of her better ones. And she's in All's Fair. I'm not gonna watch that at all, but I heard she's good in that. but I'm not going to be tuning into
Is she?
all spare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole cast of Kim Kardashian. It's a star-studded cast. I just have no interest in anything
Yeah,
the
it's a star to
Kardashians
the
are in.
cast and Kim Kardashian.
Hey, they lost me at Kim Kardashian. I don't have any interest in any show. That's as close as she's gonna get to passing the bar.
Yo.
That was that was low.
Dang, bruh.
So it's Kim Kardashian, Sarah Paulson, Glenn Close, Matthew Nazca, Niecy Nash, Naomi Watts, and Tiana Taylor is a part of this star-studded cast, and Ed O'Neill. So some pretty big names in here. It won't be something that I'll be watching. I like documentaries, so I'm gonna throw a documentary out there that I really liked. That came out, I think, this month or last month. Being Eddie, just to see.
Oh,
I've said it before. Eddie Murphy, hands down, one of, if not the best, the greatest entertainer of all time. To your point, Miles, we talking about
mm.
while he's dropping some of these movies, he's having number one platinum songs in the nation as a stand-up comedian. The numbers he was doing as a stand-up comedian and then translating it easily into movies, like the first like 4 or 5 movies he has was all bangers,
Mm-hmm.
hit after hit, 48 out, all like bangers. So being Eddie, seeing the behind the scenes, seeing all the stuff that he did in his life and accomplished, and being able to reinvent himself. Oh, they don't think I'm funny? All right, boom. I'm gonna come out and drop a hit. I'm gonna go on Saturday Night Live, and I ain't been on there for 20 plus years and kill it. Like being Eddie, definitely one of my favorite ones.
He did though.
One of my favorite docs of all time. But Kwame, you are number 4. I'll pass it to you.
Number 4, I'll probably go with another kids movie. How to Train Your Dragon, the live action this time though. I was gonna choose Lilo and Stitch, but I like How to Train Your Dragon a lot better. I think it's more it's a little darker towards the end of the movie. If you haven't, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it because he loses a leg or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, because I like the fact that yeah, he loses a leg, which is kind of crazy, but I like the fact that you ain't a superhero out here. You ain't invincible, all right? You mess around, you fly on dragon, you lose a leg.
Right.
I I like the whole overall cast was pretty good. Like the CGI was pretty good. Gerard Butler played the same character in both movies. I'm like, go ahead, Gerard Butler, get the bag. Oh, you know what? And I believed them both times too. I believed it in the animated version and live action. I'm like, oh, that's his father. True story. That's the way I see it. But yeah, overall, pretty good movie, live and CG.
Hey, so I want to ask y'all this because that was funny. I had it in one of my things to ask because we had a couple of those this year and a couple are coming out next year of the animated movies turned into live action. How do y'all feel about the animated movies going to live action? Like we had Lion King, Lilo and Stitch. How do y'all feel about the live action movies?
I mean, I feel like some of them shouldn't be touched.
Facts.
Like you shouldn't feel the need to turn it into live action. Like Lion King, that one didn't need to be touched. Mulan, same thing. I don't think they needed to do that. It's weird how Mushu's. It's not Eddie Murphy anymore. It's a different person. So you lost me there. But I agree. How to Train Your Dragon, this one that just came out, that one was really well done.
Yeah, I agree too. Like certain movies kind of make sense. Like a Cinderella. Like, all right, well, Cinderella, I can see it in real life. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, but like you said, Lion King. I'm like, talking animals in real life. I don't really care for that. Like, I don't care for that. No, you can keep that. Aladdin. Aladdin was dope. Kind of, sort of except the Will Smith genie part. Wasn't a fan of that either. Wasn't a fan of that. But yeah, I feel like they keep doing these live action films for like the newer audience and new generation. but like, no, just no. Certain films you should really sit down and be like, bro, dude, should we ruin this for everyone? Nah, let's not do that. But I mean, they make money though, so I guess they kind of have to keep continue making money because that's what these corporations are about. So
Yeah, I'd rather you do a re-release of the original movie for this generation to see. Oh wow, Lion King was lit. Like I'd rather that than some of these live action ones. I think Miles is your turn on your fourth movie.
All right. I like to watch different movies, like independent, some that you guys might have not even heard of. Like this one that came out, Sorry Baby. It was a real. It's kind of like a sad, one of those sadder films where this woman's kind of dealing with how to handle grief or handle something traumatic that happens to you, where um, she's still living in this town where something terrible happens to her and trying to maneuver how to move on with her life. And I mean, for the woman, the main character, she's the director. She did everything for this film, so it's kind of like it's impressive that she was able to do this, and she's nominated for a few awards coming up in this award season. So I don't think she'll win, but it's cool to see like a smaller film get recognized.
Was you about to chime in, Kwame?
okay. Nah, not at all. I agree wholeheartedly. You know.
So for those that didn't know, it's Eva Victor. She was the director, writer, and starred in the movie, which that is not the easiest thing to do. I'm gonna throw out there The Woman in Cabin 10. I love me a mystery, suspense, thriller type of movie. That one kind of had me on the edge a little bit, but I knew in it, I'm like, nah, these rich folk, they doing something. I couldn't put my finger on it. But these rich folks, they doing something crazy and shiesty, and they trying to make her look like she crazy. But then it made me think of real life. When you have that amount of money, how many times has something similar like this happened to people? Like the documentary Murder in Monaco. That's a wild documentary. Billionaire being murdered, and it's like money at these exuberant, crazy amounts hit different. Kwame, your fifth one, last one on 2025.
I'm gonna end it off with something pretty dope. It is gonna be Wake Up, Dead Man, Knives Out. Daniel Craig, bro. Daniel Craig is awesome. I don't think he, and I'm gonna think before I say this. I don't think he missed. I don't think there's a movie that I've seen that he missed in. Like, yo, Daniel Craig, when he come out in a movie, it's gonna be good. And I mean, overall, the cast in all these movies outside of just him is amazing. Like, you got him playing a detective, you got a whole murder mystery, you're trying to figure it out. You've got these amazing actors and actresses just killing it. So I mean, honestly, it's one of those movies that like I when it's done, I'm like, man, I want to watch it again. I want to see more. But I know, you know, it's a movie and I gotta wait till whenever they release another one. It's kind of sad, but you know. Awesome movie. Definitely, I would say one of the best movies I've definitely seen all year. It should have been actually. You know what? I think that's my number one. Now I think about it, I think that's going to be moved to my number one, and American Pie will probably be number two. Yeah.
Hey, so I wanted to ask this was going to be in a segment for some of the games, but you brought it up, and I expected one of you two to mention it. If you had to rank the Knives Out movies, Knives Out, Glass Onion, and Wake Up Dead Man, how would you rank those Knives Out movies?
I'd go. I mean, first one, that one takes the cake.
Yeah.
That's the first one. Second one, I kind of went down a little bit, so I'd put that last, and then Wake Up Dead Man, I'd put number two.
I agree.
I hope they do a little, like Kwame was saying, I was watching it. This was one of the Knives Out where I wish it was a sequel, because it's like, all right, you going to eventually get that little diamond. You going you gonna get that diamond you got hitting up there inside the little wood thing.
Right.
You gonna pull that down. You ain't gonna leave that up there. That's billions of dollars.
Mhm.
No. But I know they ain't gonna do a sequel to that because they do their own little
I
things.
know.
It's a whole book. I think it's a whole book series. So they gonna drop another one that's a part of the book. So I think it's like 6 of them. So we should get another 3. We should. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we'll see what happens.
I
Miles,
mean,
what was your last
it
one?
might.
Hey, hopefully. I think it's all of it if Daniel Craig want to do it again. But
Right.
your 5th one, Miles.
My 5th one, I was up in the air, but I'll go with Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise, I feel like, yeah, you could rank them 1 through 8 or how many he's done, but each one that comes out, you're gonna rush to the theaters to see it. If you're a fan of Tom Cruise and a fan of action films, you go to see Tom Cruise movies just because you know he puts everything into these movies. And some of the scenes, like the last scene on the plane where he's, he always does this. He's crazy. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. You know what these people do. They do some crazy stuff in these films. You know what I mean by these people. So hanging off a plane, I don't know if you could get Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel to do that, but Tom Cruise, he's crazy enough to do it. But hey, some movie. Sometimes when a movie has like multiple films, they struggle trying to end the film, like try to end a series of films, like the James Bond. They ended that great. Like I don't think they could have ended it any better with Daniel Craig. This, I feel like they did it the same way. Like you build up this suspense. You dropped this movie a year ago, and it's to be continued. Where now you're still chasing this guy, and to finally get him and then just end it like that, I think it was perfect.
Definitely one of my favorites as well. I'll just end off with another one, the Thursday Murder Club. I think that was good. Had a little humor behind it. An older cast, but these are legends in the game that were in it, that started it. So that rounds out my top 5. Now, my favorite TV shows. This was way harder for me to only choose 5. I'm probably going to have to name some honorable mentions just off the strength, just to name them and give them love because I'm a TV guy. I feel the TV shows for the last like 5 years, 10 years have been hitting way more than the movies that's been dropping. I'm going to let Miles start it off.
Facts.
Your favorite TV show of 2025?
I'm gonna go with Severance. I think that one. It stinks that we got to wait another year or so for the next season to come out, but I feel like this was the best season, top to bottom. Like, if you watch Severance first season, it's like a slow burn for most of the season, and then it picks up, and then you're like, oh shoot, all right, now I see where we're headed with this. Same thing here, where you're trying to like see, is he gonna get to his wife in time? And then he does, but that's not your husband. There's these two different connecting themes with this elevator. Like once you step off, you're a totally different person than you are inside. So I'm curious to see how they do the next season. Now that he's decided to leave his wife for his work wife.
That's messy.
Real messy.
There's some people that have done that in real life, and there's no elevator. There's no elevator included.
There might be a Coldplay concert, but hey.
Hey, speaking of it being a slow burn, which is sometimes, let's say Apple TV drops 5 TV shows, 2 of them are going to be those slow burn TV shows. Have either of you seen Pluribus? If you have, what's your thoughts on it? Because that, if you want to talk about slow burn, that's a deep beef potluck roast that's been in there for 27 hours.
Nah, I was about to start watching it. It's on my list right now. I'm gonna start watching it, but I read about it and I heard that it's mad slow. I'm like, should I watch it though? But I heard it's
Yeah,
like dope though, so I'm gonna watch it. But
it's tough. It's tough for me because if you know the director, what's his name, Vince Gilligan, with Breaking Bad, it was the same way. Breaking Bad, I almost didn't watch it because I was like, this is the slowest freaking show I've ever seen. Like, when are they gonna get to the point? When are they gonna start killing people? But I think it's a good show. I think it's a good show. I've watched like one or two episodes. Um, some people might not make it that far. Q, you might make it a full episode or half of it before you're like, this is too slow for me. I can't do this. But hey, sometimes you got to give it a chance. I did that with Severance the first time I watched it. I watched a couple episodes. I was like, get out of here. I'm not watching this. Ben, I appreciate you for doing this, but I can't do it. Then I took the chance. Now I recognize like this show is elite. This is one of the best shows out. So
Yeah, I give for me, I think one of the things when I think about people that have great performances is when they can evoke emotion out of you, whether you hate them, dislike them, you love that character, you're questioning the character. That's what I get from Rhea Seahorn in this. This is what I get. I can't stand her character because I don't want to spoil it for y'all. She does some really backward stuff in this show. She starts off, she's gung ho to be like, I'm gonna save the world, and eventually she leans towards not saving the world, then goes back to saving the world to end off the episode, the season. So if you do watch it, this is just me. She pissed me off. Her character pissed me all the way off. And like Miles said, those people typically do the nonsense that she's doing in this show.
yo, to add to that, for streaming services, I feel like Apple TV got the best shows, hands down. Like,
I can't even argue.
there's at
I'm
least
back,
10
but
or
I agree.
12 shows on that I'm like looking forward to each season when it comes out. Like, you've got Shrinking, you've got Invasion, you've got Severance, even Ted Lasso is going to come back out at some point. So it's like they know what they're doing when it comes to making these shows. They don't care about the money. They'll spend what it takes to put out a good show. Netflix, they might give you one season and they're like, you liked it, cancel.
Nah, Netflix is known for doing that. I can't.
That is true though. That is true.
I can't stand it with Netflix. Kwame, your favorite. Start off with the top of your list. Your favorite TV show of 2025.
My favorite probably will be, dang, bro. Yeah, yo, TV shows this year been crazy. I'm probably gonna go with, let me go with. Dang, I got so many on my list. I got like 10. I'm gonna go with It. Welcome to Derry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with It. Yeah, I'm gonna go with It.
I forgot. Yo, it's crazy. I forgot about
honestly
that.
Speaking, I knew. Damn, you forgot about It. What? That's crazy. Nah, I know it's like a childhood thing because I grew up watching it. Know what I'm saying? I had nightmares watching it. I had a couple nightmares watching it, and then the last couple of movies have been pretty good. And so I was like, all right, let me check the show out. And the show honestly did pretty well too. I'm like, yo, this is a pretty good show. It adds to the lore of everything because I've always kind of like wondered, like, you know, like what happened prior to these kids fighting this ancient being down in the sewers or whatever. So it kind of gave me that, and then as I continue to watch this show, I'm like, man, they could take this like further and go even further back, only to find out that they plan to do that within the next 2 seasons or so. But yeah, it's a pretty good show. Had a couple slow moments, I'm not gonna lie, but overall though, I thought it was a pretty well thought out show.
Hey, my favorite show, and I'm so glad that I didn't pick it because it was a bunch of great shows throughout the year. So it was a chance that y'all wouldn't pick it, but I didn't know. Like, it was so many good shows, but I'll get it off the board now. Paradise. Paradise, hands down for me, was my favorite show of the year. Cast was casting. It, no misses at all for me. Sterling K. Brown, I feel the same that you said with Daniel Craig. It's not many stuff that Sterling K. Brown is in that, at least for him, his role bodies
Don't
it every single time. I've never really watched This Is Us, but I've seen the clips where it's him in it, and it'd be tempting me to be like, let me go get on this emotional roller coaster.
I could never do it. That show is just too sad.
I'm the same, Miles. It's one moment they happy and they got you. Oh yeah, oh, you see somebody watching it smiling, and the next thing you know, somebody's character baby dies on the middle of a roller coaster. Like, what the heck? Now they crying at the end of the show, and the dog you find out got cancer, and now everybody crying. It's like, yo, that's too much it's too much for me. But shout out to Sterling K. Brown.
Facts.
What's second on your list, Miles?
Second on my list, I'm gonna go with Dexter Resurrection. I thought, having watched Dexter growing up, he's a crazy dude. Very creative with how he handles, these criminals. But I mean, that bloodthirst is crazy for a regular human being. That's how. There's people out there like that. So watch your back. Don't listen to headphones in public. Seeing them kind of, I don't want to say it, but resurrect this character and bring him back, and the show is like a 9 out of 10. Like Dexter growing up, that show was great. You suspenseful. You even got the surprise mother. That dude, he was great in that show. He's not here anymore, but in this show, seeing him still trying to like have this relationship with his son, even though if you saw the series before it, son tried to take him out. And then connecting the Miami roots of them, like almost cat and mouse, trying to figure out who's the Bay Harbor butcher. And the one guy finally realizes, hey, Dexter's the guy. But Dexter he's creative. He knows how to get out of these situations. And he knows, if you're on to me, I'm just going to take you out. So I'm looking forward to season 2 and seeing how they continue this show moving forward. Yeah, that was my second one.
Yeah, my younger sister was telling me about it. She loves all of the Dexter, so that's definitely on a lot of people's lists. Quame, what's up next for you?
I'm going to go with Alien Earth. Now, if Aliens, the whole entirety of Alien is like, well, pause. Most of the series, because most of the movie series is pretty good. But Alien is like a classic show. It's a classic movie, and for them to even deepen that lore with Alien Earth was amazing. They had a pretty decent cast, great episodes. Like it was pretty well thought out, well paced. And I was like, bro, what's gonna happen? Like I remember watching the first episode. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. Like people, it was a pretty gory show. So people getting like chopped up and blood everywhere. I'm like, yo, this is what an alien show should be. And throughout the entire season, it was just a roller coaster of emotions and more people getting killed and more great acting. I loved it overall. I would honestly say outside of Apple TV, because Apple's Apple. I think FX actually has a pretty good roster of shows too. Actually, now I think about it, from like Alien Earth, they got like Shogun, they got The Lowdown with Ethan Hawke, The Bear. But yeah, Alien Earth definitely my number 2.
Well, The Bear season 4 definitely was my number 2 on there. Funny you just mentioned it. Definitely was my number 2 on there. I ain't gonna go too deep into it because that's one of the people I'm gonna mention talking about best performances of this year. I love the entire show. Like legit, just the vulnerability, the honesty they share in it. These are real life situations that people are going through, and you see people I'm trying to get better. I don't know how to actually get better, but I'm trying to get better. I know I need to get better, but I'm trying to get better, do it some way, somehow. So I loved season 4, and I can't wait to see what we get from season 5 from The Bear. Miles, what's next on your list?
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with Adolescence. It was a short series on Netflix. It was basically showing like, hey, you don't know what your kids are doing behind the scenes. Like you think you know your kids, teenage kids, but they could have a darker side to them, like that comes out, and you got to continue trying to like raise them the right way. And it was great seeing the different sides of it. Like this kid does something terrible to another kid, ends up, they bring him in for questioning, and they already know that he did it, and then he finally admits it, and now you're seeing how it affects the rest of the family. Sometimes you don't think about that, like the kid or a person does something terrible. What happens to the rest of the family? The dad's dealing with his business being affected, people spray painting mean stuff on his car that he has to drive to work in, and he can't get it off, and just showing how it affects you like mentally. It's so draining. I thought it was well done. I think that young kid won. That was his first acting gig too, and he won some awards for it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the future. Because I mean, hey, for your first acting gig, for you to do that great, like, speaks volumes.
Hey, maybe we just don't know. That's something that he's lived, and he was able to do it well, kind of like what Tiana Taylor's role. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out one of these days. Kwame, what's the next on your list?
Next to my list, I'm probably gonna go with. I'm trying to see if I want to do an actual. Yeah, I'm gonna go with performances. I'm gonna go with Dope Thief with Brian Tyree Henry, and his name is Wagner Mora. They play some thieves, right? So these two guys, they're best of friends. Over here, robbing dope. They're posing as DEA agents, robbing dope houses. And we all know once I heard that, I'm like, bro, it's gonna go left. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And of course, it goes left. So you got them. They're doing this. They robbed the wrong person. It goes completely left. They're on the run. X, Y, and Z. I don't want to ruin it all, but bro, the performances from everyone on the show is amazing. You got this thriller. You like, yo, what's about to happen, bro? Like, it's gonna be crazy. And it just kept me on my seat the entire season. But yeah, I would say like Brian Tyrese Henry and Wagner Mora's like performance in the show, like top notch, bro. Like top notch. Like this is definitely one of those shows, like, bro, if you haven't watched it, watch it. And then thank me.
I love seeing him in that too, Brian Tyree, because it's like kind of everything that he's been in, we've seen, even when he's like the supporting role, like he does a good job. For him to actually be now the star of it, and to actually be the person like carrying the show, quote unquote, even though he didn't have to carry it because everybody on there was good. Even his father coming back in his life and trying to help him, and then eventually we see what happens in that last episode of him basically sacrificing to the entire cast. Again, another Apple product, Apple TV product. And I'm gonna throw another Apple TV product out there. The Last Frontier.
Mm.
That
There you go.
extremely good, really good plot. Kept me on the edge. I eventually, like later on the season, found out and was like, nah, somebody is playing a double role in this somewhere, somehow. Something is a little fishy on here. How it all turned out. Last Frontier is definitely one of mine. Miles, I think we're on number 4 right now. What comes off your list next?
I'm gonna go with The Pit. I'm looking forward to season 2 coming out in a few weeks. Just showing the ins and out of an ER and how crazy it can really get. unless you work in medicine, you don't know. Once you clock in, you don't really get to stop. You're just bouncing from one area to the next and just seeing each episode's just an hour out of the day. So it's not like you watch an episode and that's a full day. No, you're just watching a piece of the day. So sometimes you're piecing together as you go on. Oh shoot, that's so and so, or like this happened. Maybe this will happen in the future, like a couple hours, couple episodes down the line. I thought it was well done, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle this next one, which I think they're doing it. It's set during July 4th of July weekend, which I mean, shoot, maybe we'll see Jason Pierre-Paul type of accidents with the blowing your hand off with the fireworks. Who knows?
That's the first thing that literally came to my mind when it's supposed to be doing July 4th. Oh, somebody's hand is getting blown off and they coming into the ER. For sure. That writes itself. Maybe he gets it, maybe he's able to, get a cameo or something like that. That'd be a perfect cameo. He'll kill that role. Might get an award for that one. I think also the way that they set it up is kind of like the show 24 Hours. That I think is genius. You're only seeing 1 hour, and we're going to break it down throughout each episode. Is only 1 hour. Only 1 hour that you're seeing. So I think that's a dope concept of how they did that. Kwame, what's next off your list?
I'm gonna go with man. There's too many shows to actually name, but I think I'm gonna go with something a little lighthearted this time because I like the show overall. I like what the show's about. I'm gonna go with the Vince Staples Show. Honestly speaking, I watched season 1 and I knew season 2 was gonna be pretty good. It kind of gives me Atlanta vibes. Like I love the Atlanta. I love the whole like. It was kind of weird and quirky sometimes, and I love it how Vince Staples is kind of in that same kind of category. It's quirky, it's weird, it's funny. You got a black main character who's a rapper. But yeah, I love the Vince Staples Show. I was kind of sad when I was watching it, and I'm like, wait, that's last episode? Are you serious? And I kept refreshing it, like, nah, that can't be it. Only to find out that was it. I actually binged it on in a single morning actually because I was so excited.
Yeah, that's the thing I like too with how he even set it up. They're not extremely long episodes. Literally, I went through season 1. I'm like, oh,
Nah,
season 1 is done. What? Wait, this the this the end of the season?
exactly. I'm like, where's the rest?
I think that's I think it also then makes it concise as well because it's like we're not getting any fluff in between because we want to make it an hour. I'm gonna get straight to it. I'm gonna get straight to these jokes. Exactly. And one of my favorite episodes was not this season, but season 1, where his he knows the person that's robbing the bank, and they come and he's like, oh what?
Yeah, bro. Yes, that was it, bro. One of the best episodes I've seen, hands down. And I'm like, yo, he gonna see the bank episode, and lo and behold, the bank episode. It was hilarious, bro. Hilarious.
Very
I think that's like, yo,
Atlanta-esque.
this show's gonna be good.
Exactly.
Right?
That's an Atlanta type of episode right there. So shout out to Vince Staples. In all his interviews I've seen him do,
Facts.
he's hilarious. Just like in his regular interviews, even when like he sometimes on he might come on the Joe Budden podcast. Absolutely, Vince Staples, one of the funniest people, and one of the smartest people, I think, in his field of understanding, like when you hear him talk, how rap doesn't last and not being solely in the rap. So shout out to him. My next one that I got coming off, I'll stay in the same. I'll say this one. Another Apple one, Smoke. So for those that don't know about Smoke, I just give you the plot of Smoke. It's a person that is an arson investigator trying to find out who's been setting these fires for the last 2-3 years. Come to find out, the investigator is the person that's been setting the fires. I'll just leave you at that. You don't find that out till somewhere later in the season. Great cast, great mystery behind it. I'm looking forward to season 2. The person that comes there that is help investigating, these fires. She got her own mess and nonsense going on. That's wild for her character. Shout out to her. I think that's Journey Smollett. She killed her role.
Yep.
Typically, everything that I see her in, she does a good job. And shout out to her because, like Miles was saying, when people in your family do some crazy stuff, you don't know how it impacts you. She's been able to keep shining despite a certain family member telling a true or not true story about being beat up on in Chicago one night while he was getting Subway. So we'll leave that alone.
In the middle of winter.
In the middle of winter.
Because black
And
people
the
go
Subway
outside
sandwich
in
was
the
intact.
cold, right?
Subway sandwich was intact still. I threw a newts back on once the police came back in. Let me show you what they did. Yeah, very interesting one on that one.
Yeah.
Maz, yeah.
I want to be authentic. Yo, bro.
Hey, Maz, your last one off the board.
My last one, I'm gonna go with Hacks, another show on HBO Max. Season 4 was great. It's another show where the episodes aren't that long. They're like 30, 35 minutes. But for a comedy, this is top tier funny right here. And one of the co-star or the co-leads in this show, I think this is her first big role. She's legit. She's funny. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle the final season. I think that comes out May or June this year. So I'm looking out for that. But that's one of my favorite shows on TV, on HBO.
Yeah, it's definitely one of your favorites because I remember when we talked about this last episode that we had, not in person. Well, we were just talking about great comedies. I think it was the episode we were talking about great comedies. You mentioned Hacks as being one of your favorite comedies of all time regarding TV shows. So like you said, I just saw she got an award for something she did or was saying that she should have got an award for her performance, something like that. Season 5 is coming out. That's one of the shows that everybody's looking forward to for 2026. Kwame, what's the last one off your list? And I'm gonna give y'all the floor for any honorable mentions that y'all want to throw in there.
I'm gonna go with dang, man. It's too many shows, man. Too many shows. You know what? I'm gonna go with Landman. Landman season 2 came out. I just started watching it. It's still currently in season 2, but bruh, I love Billy Bob Thornton's character in Landman. I love the whole Texas oil situation, and then trying to figure out this $1 billion company. He's trying to run the company. He's trying to save his family and do family stuff, all while dealing with stuff in behind the scenes you don't actually have to ever see. In season 2 so far, I think I think pretty much caught up. But so far, I like it. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's pretty good so far. You got Demi Moore now. She's taking over as the head of the company. He's got all these other plans, and things going on. His son is trying to become his own man. And I think overall, you got all these different problems coming together, and him trying to solve them all and piece things together. And I think overall, it's a pretty good show. Like I said, I love him as an actor too.
So to keep it and give a little light one in there, typically when you see shows, even movies, take forever to bring something back for the next season, they typically don't do well. Y'all can argue with your mama. For me, one of my favorite shows of 2025 that they took, I don't know how many years to bring it back, maybe they weren't going to bring it back, was The King of the Hill. Peggy Hill and the crew had me crying. They were able to have up-to-date jokes. They were able to do a good job sharing the storyline of what happened in this time frame while they were gone. The son now owns a Chinese hibachi spot that also makes Greek food. Absolutely hilarious. He doesn't use propane, which you know that pisses his father off that he's not using propane. absolutely hilarious. Peggy Hill, she don't say Saudi Arabia, right? She say Saudi Arabia. Everything in that show for me, absolutely hilarious. For it to take that long and come back with it, and all the jokes hit dealing with now too, hilarious.
I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was kind of scared because I'm like you said, it takes forever to bring back a show. It's usually for money. Like let's be real, it's usually for money, and it's never as good. But I'm gonna check it out now.
Yo, first episode. I'm not going to say these jokes on here, but they're going to hit. They pick up literally right where they leave off, where it's the jokes that you say in your group chat that you would never say out loud. Yeah, they hit those throughout the entire season. Any honorable mentions that come to your mind that didn't make your top five?
There's one that's going on right now. Same thing on Paramount. Mayor of Kingston. This new season that came out. I mean, I thought the show was already great, but the way they've done the last few episodes, I'm like, all right, this might be the best season so far. So that's one of my favorite shows on TV. It comes out every Sunday. So if you have time, check it out. I like Task on HBO. That one was another good one. Not the most upbeat.
Yep, that was on my list.
It's not a real happy show. It's one where it's dealing with grief and how you get over it. And
That's pretty.
what'd you say?
No, I said no. It's pretty dark.
Oh yeah, no, it's real dark. And then the studio. The studio is another one that came out this past year, and I mean, I can only watch that I can't binge that. That's not a show you binge. It's real chaotic. Each episode, the music just adds to the chaos of the episode. I'm just like, yo, this guy cannot get out of his own way. None of these characters can get out of their own way when it comes to whatever the episode storyline is. So yeah, it deserved the awards. It's just I've never seen something so chaotic in my life.
Hey, bro, that one episode where Mans was trying to he was trying to be in the movie at the same time and get respect
Yeah.
from them. Like, hey, I'm the person that paid for you guys to. I greenlit this, and they did not care who he was. Absolutely, absolutely hilarious. And I think that's what they were saying too. Like, that's kind of real. Like, don't nobody care who the director really is unless you a big name. Don't nobody care about the person that works at MGM that said, hey, we want this movie to come out. But he was trying to make sure y'all knew who he was. So even the one where he on a date and he's dating like a bunch of doctor, and they go to an event where it's a bunch of
Crazy.
where it's a bunch of doctors and people with PhDs, and they just keep downplaying what he does. Like, oh, that's you make little movies. Oh, okay, you make people laugh. Guess that's good. We save lives.
Yo, every time it would come up, I'm like, yo, just let go. This is not your place. You're surrounded by doctors. Let it go. And he couldn't let it go. He would keep going on about like, I do more than you guys do.
Right, and then for the episode to end that he needed a doctor to save his life. I'm like, hilarious. Any audible mention that come up to you, Quame?
I have both of those are on my list. I'm probably gonna go with Tulsa King. I watched season 1, loved season 1. Season 2 was what's season 2? Wait, where are we in season 3 right now? No, we're in season 3, right? Yeah, we're in season 3. Yeah, season 3 was pretty good overall. They kind of introduced like Samuel L. Jackson. There you go. He's going to be doing his own thing and his own series going forward. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I had the Task on my list. I also had the studio on my list as well. like I said, 2025. Like there was just too many shows out there for there's too many good shows out there. You got the lowdown with Ethan Hawke on FX. Ethan Hawke in that show is hilarious, bro. Hilarious. Um, what else do I have? Is that it? I think I had Adolescence on there as well. That's got kind of like a little dark. But yeah, that's about it though. I think those two are the new entries.
All right, so I'm gonna run down quick list. White Lotus season 3, really good. I felt Daredevil Born Again season 1, like that one. The Paper for them to do a little spinoff from The Office. Again, jokes hit, funny. Only thing I'd say about The Paper is literally is following the same theme and the same pathway of The Office.
Mm.
Office romance. You got one person at the office that's kind of crazy. It's literally they just took the same plot and just threw it on a completely different show. So that's where I don't know. It'll still be funny, but it's like y'all could have got more creative than that. But probably a money grab, and people gonna watch it. Only Murders in the Building. After the next season that they have, y'all gotta. It can't keep just people just randomly getting murdered outside of the building, inside the building. Like y'all gotta. It gotta be done after next season. Can't be no more of that. Department Q over on Netflix. That was pretty good. Man on the Inside season 2 was pretty good. Slow Horses season 5 was good. The Beast in Me. That was a really good one right there. And the last one I'll throw out there, another Apple one, Down Cemetery Road.
That's
Now,
my list.
I'll just say this. I've realized this year, typically if it's something with some British in it, or some British people in it, or British people directing it, 8 times out of 10 it's gonna be good. 8 times out of 10. They know what they doing over there in Great Britain. I don't know about anything else that they doing, the food, all that. But y'all movies and y'all actors, y'all sending to America, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Um, Best performances. Who comes to mind, Kwame, for your best performances, whether it's movie, TV show of 2025? Who comes to mind for you for your best performances?
There it is. I was trying to figure out. There's this one. I'm sorry. There was another movie or another show that I was thinking of that I couldn't remember it, and it's called The Chair Company. And I was like, bruh, has anyone seen that?
I started it, haven't continued it
Mm-hmm.
yet. I only watched part of episode 1, so I
I
give it
did.
that. I only watched part of episode 1.
It kind of when you said The Office in The Paper, and I was like, there was another show that I was watching that kind of gave me those vibes too. And I was trying to rack my brain. I'm like, oh, The Chair Company, but I know
Yeah,
that
I
the
saw
main catch, Tim Robinson, he's kind of funny, and I was like,
I saw this it had was on a lot of people's list. They said it should get some awards for it, but I just haven't. It's a lot of TV, man. I haven't got around. haven't gotten around to it. Um,
bruh.
like I had to write down some of the shows y'all said, like Alien Earth. I haven't got around to it. Haven't seen none of the new season of Mayor Kingstown. Haven't seen Landman yet. Everybody says it's good. Like I had to write some stuff down, like because I don't be enough time in the
Not me,
day in the
same.
world. If you want to be productive, that is.
Yeah.
If you got a rich auntie or uncle that's taking care of you, you get through all this stuff. The 3 people on this screen,
No.
we can't be productive and watch all this stuff. Ain't no way.
Nah, bro.
Best performances of 2025, TV shows or movies. Who come to mind?
Mm. Dang.
I'll start it off with a
Dang.
lighthearted one. Janelle James over on Abbott Elementary. Principal Ava. Everybody on that show does well. Even the janitor, like the cast is perfectly built with each other and the chemistry that they have. But Principal Ava, it's on every episode that has you crying, has you looking like, ain't no way a principal can do this. Ain't no way she gonna do it. Every single episode. So that was one of my favorite performances of the year. Principal Ava on Abbott Elementary.
All right. For mine, it's a movie that kind of I feel like flew under the radar. A movie called Twinless. There's the guy who was in Teen Wolf, Dylan O'Brien. He was also the main character in The Maze Runner. Um, he plays a set of twins. One happens to pass away, and he's kind of dealing with that grief of losing a twin.
Yeah.
And there's like a connection there that if you don't have a twin, you don't really realize it. And just he has to play both characters. Like the brother who passed away, he's this confident gay man, and then he has to play the other brother who's like not very confident. He lashes out when people press him about stuff, and it's kind of like how he deals with grief and gets into fights. So he meets this guy and kind of like brings the walls down a little bit. You see him open up and start to he develops a relationship with somebody. He develops a relationship with a woman, and you see him like start to show like a little personality. So for him to play both roles and to do it at a really high level, I'd have to give my favorite performance to him. It's not one of my top movies for the year because there were so many, but it was a good movie to watch and see how it played out.
Hey, I give mad props because I just talking about Eddie Murphy. People that are able to do that, Eddie Murphy's the Martin Lawrence of the world. You're playing multiple roles. Yeah, that's nothing to poo poo at. That's definitely you gotta tip your hat off. Kwame, does anybody come to mind for you?
I'm probably gonna go with what's the guy's name? Josh O'Connor from the guy from Josh O'Connor who played the priest in Wake of Dead Man. I think he did a stellar job in that role. I think it complemented Daniel Craig's main character pretty well. I think honestly the whole cast did it pretty well, but I think he stood out for me. I definitely love Mark Ruffalo's performance in The Task. I think it was. I think honestly, I'm a fan of Mark Ruffalo in general. So like when I saw him in the role, I was like, yo, I love his character in this role. I probably will go with also. Let me see. Ben Staples. Oh man, I love Ben Staples' performance as well. But I think top of would probably be Josh O'Connor from Wake Up Dead Man.
I'll throw one more out there, and Miles, if you have one more, you could throw one out there. If not, we'll go into what we're looking forward to in 2026. But gotta show love to Tremo Tillman over in Severance. Seth Milchick. Yeah. Very, very, very good job he did. And even I'll throw out there Christopher Chung in Slow Horses. Roddy Ho. That Joker. One of the most delusional, hilarious characters of all time is Roddy Ho's character in Slow Horses. Again, give me a little something with that British influence. Is hitting every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Put it straight into my
Facts.
veins. Anybody else come to mind for you, Miles?
It's another movie I saw recently. It's on Netflix. Joel Edgerton. He's a really good actor. There's another show on Apple TV. I think it's called Dark, where it's like the two parallel universes. Not going to talk about that one. He was in this movie Train Dreams that came out this year, and that was a movie where he was given up for adoption, kind of not a very happy kid. Then he finds happiness with a wife and has a daughter, and then tragedy happens, and you see him kind of like dealing with that, like having nightmares or continuing to go back to where they were last seen, and just seeing eventually it's hard to get out of grief. Like grief, there's no time stamp for how long you can grieve and handle it like that. But once you see towards the end of the movie, you see him like start to experience life. Like sometimes you got to tell people like, hey, your life doesn't end here. Even though someone else's ended, your life doesn't end here. You can keep going and trying to like live your life and develop relationships with people. So it was cool seeing. I mean, it's a sadder movie, but I like him as an actor. I thought he was really good in that role. And I mean, you guys mentioned all these kids films. I don't know if you guys will watch it just because it's not the most happy of films. Maybe like the first half feels happy, second half is, it's not This Is Us, but you'll probably need a tissue box sitting next to you while you're watching it. So,
all right, I'm gonna name some of these movies coming out in 2026. Y'all let me know if you think it's gonna be a hit or a miss. Toy Story 5.
I'll watch it. I don't think it's gonna be a hit though.
It's gonna be a hit.
I don't know. They're talking about
because it's Toy Story, because
screen time. They're gonna be talking about screen time and getting off the iPads and stuff. That's like when Grays brought in COVID. I was like, you guys missed me with this. I don't need to see it.
Nah, bro. It's gonna be. I think we probably won't like it because it should have ended with 3, but whatever. But I think that kids these days, they're gonna like it. They're gonna watch it because it's Toy Story, and they're gonna be attached to it. So I think it's gonna be a hit for most people, but for like probably like us, it's probably gonna be a miss because, like I said, it should have ended at 3.
Right.
Spider-Man Brand New Day, hit or miss?
I like the last one that came out. I thought the last one was good. It's just I don't know. Like Avengers, they're coming out with a new movie next year too. I'm just like, how do you move forward past Endgame? And then Spider-Man, I guess it's a new reality, or I don't know. I think it's gonna be a miss.
I agree. I think it's going to be a miss. I think Marvel they keep trying to churn out these superhero movies. I'm like, bro, just give it a little break now. Just let it, like, just give it some time, let it die down for a little bit, then bring it back. But then I guess if they do that, they might be scared that people might forget about it and not care about it, so they have to keep bringing it to the forefront. By doing so, like you're rushing, or you're making this storyline that isn't all that great. So, but I think it's going to be a miss, though.
Speaking of possible storylines not being great, hit or miss, Avengers Doomsday.
I mean, it's gonna do well. It's gonna do well, box office wise, just because it's like Star Wars. You got all those people who they're cult fans, but it's gonna be an interesting way of doing it. Like you're bringing back Chris Evans' character with who's he play? He plays the man with the shield, Captain America. You're bringing back. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. I'm like, that's how detached I am from this series of shows or movies. And then Downey Jr. is coming back as Mr. Doom, Doctor Doom, MF Doom. I don't know. He's coming back as somebody. So I don't know. I feel like again they should have let this die out a little bit. Like Endgame happened, Iron Man dies, let it go. But now all of a sudden now he's this hooded man, or there's multiple Dooms. that are gonna be in this movie. I don't know. I'll watch it though. Doesn't mean I'm gonna like it.
Hey, Kwame and Miles, any shows or movies that I did not mention that comes to mind that you're looking forward to most? Kwame, you started off. Anything in 2026 that you are most excited is
Looking
coming out?
forward to, I probably would say, you said shows or movies, right?
But
Yeah, shows or movies.
Okay, I
Yep.
probably would go with the Odyssey with Matt Damon. It's going to be directed by Christopher Nolan. I love Christopher Nolan's movies. I think they're actually some of the best movies overall as a director for me. He's pretty good, and I think for the most part, I'm trying to think of a movie that he made that was trash, but I can't think of one because they're all that good. So I'm like, all right. So if he's doing the Odyssey, I know it's gonna be good. If he did Inception, if he did Dunkirk, if he did all those movies and those were great, oh, this is gonna be crazy. I know for a fact it's gonna be crazy. So looking for that. Lanterns. That's only because Aaron Pierre's in it, and I'm like, I like him a little overall. And who's the guy? There's another guy in that show that I like as well, whose name I can't currently remember, but I think that's gonna be a pretty good overall show. Ever since DC got rid of whoever was doing it last, and the most recent thing they've been putting out have been pretty good, from Peacemaker to the last Superman movie. What's the other show? Um, Creature Commandos is pretty good. So I noticed I'm pretty confident overall that they're going to try to keep the same momentum going and put out something decent as well. There's one more show that I'm currently forgetting. What is it again? I didn't write it down, but yeah, those two overall. And I think there's another show. I'm gonna try to look for it, but you can go ahead. Move on to Miles.
All right, Miles, I'm gonna run these off real quick and then you go. Hijack season 2, Shrinking season 3, Night Agent season 3, Paradise season 2. The last thing he told me, season 2, Ted Lasso. They haven't put out a date yet, but that's supposed to come in 2026. The Lincoln Lawyer, The Bear are the shows that I am looking forward to most. Hoppers, that Pixar movie, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Minions 3, I have kids, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And The Rip over in January, I'm looking forward to seeing The Rip as well, see how they do with that. And maybe even Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg back out 2026. Steven Spielberg, again, one of the directors you hear he's directing it. You're gonna give it a chance. They haven't really dropped too much of a trailer
It's
of
gonna be
everything that's
good.
going on in it, but I feel it's gonna be good. Miles, you end off the show.
All right, so you named a couple. You said Paradise, Hijack. Those are coming out. Hijack's coming out in a couple weeks. Paradise in like March or something like that. So I'm looking forward to those two. Pit, same thing. Pit comes out in like a couple weeks. This other show on HBO, Industry. That one's a really good show, and that comes out in January. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then for movies, Q, you said The Odyssey. I'm looking forward to that one. I hate when they tell you a movie's coming out and it comes out like in 15 months. I'm like, dang. So you're telling me I can? It's like that Kevin Garnett. Why would you show me something if I can't have it? You know, damn. That's how I feel with The Odyssey. 28 years later, the second installment comes out in a couple weeks in January. There's a lot in January this coming month, so I'm looking forward to what we got. And then the Peaky Blinders trailer just dropped, and I think that comes out in March.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one. That show, even though each season was real short, it didn't miss. Like that, they had a great cast. Interested to see how they move forward from the finale to now. Like it looks like there might be a bit of a time jump. He looks older, but that's the other thing. These people age rather quickly, so it could be a year. It could be a year from the last season. Who knows?
Hey, it's been nothing but great movies, TV shows that we've mentioned, actors, actresses that we mentioned throughout this entire episode. Great content, and it's obvious. I checked the analytics. more than even the sports stuff. Y'all have viewed and liked this content the most. The most viewed content on YouTube this past year, 2025. Shout out to those that were supporting and locking in, was our movie and TV show episodes. So shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all. Y'all know the vibes here at the BME podcast. If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. Peace.